Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack a simple but really powerful secret that can help you understand even the most complicated English words. You can think of it like we're learning a secret code, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You're reading along and bam, you hit this huge word that just looks impossible. It can be really frustrating. But what if I told you there's a hidden pattern inside almost every single one of them?
Well, here's the secret. It's not about memorizing thousands of new words. Nope, it's about learning to see their building blocks. Once you can spot them, you can piece together what a word means, even if you've never, ever seen it before.
So let's jump right in and find out what these secret codes actually are. We're going to be talking about something called a prefix.
So, what is a prefix? It's just a small word part that gets attached right to the beginning of another word. And even though it's small, it has a huge job. It actually changes the meaning of that main word.
You know, the best way to think about a prefix is as a clue. It's like a little signpost at the very start of a word that gives you a major hint about what it's all about. It's the first piece of the puzzle. And you might be wondering, where did these little word parts even come from? Well, a whole bunch of them come from old languages like Greek and Latin. And that's exactly why you see the same prefixes popping up all over the place. They're the keys that help us guess the meaning of brand new words.
Okay, so let's start with our first group. These are what I like to call the prefixes of togetherness. They're all about connection and bringing things together. First up, we've got co, or sometimes it's spelled com. It's a really simple one and it almost always means with or together. Let's take a look at a few examples. See the pattern here? A coworker is someone you work with. When you combine things, you put them together. To compress something, well, you press things together. And a co-pilot, that's the pilot who flies with the main one. That little prefix adds that idea of together every single time. It's pretty cool, right?
All right, next up is the prefix pro. This one usually gives us a sense of moving forward. It means forward or sometimes in favor of something.
So think about it. When you propose an idea, you're putting it forward for other people to think about. A profession, that's a career that helps you move forward. And your online profile, it puts your information forward for the world to see. That idea of forward is right there in all of them.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Our next group of prefixes help us understand where something is or when it's happening. They're all about place and time.
First in this group is inter. You've probably seen this one a lot, and its meaning is super simple: between.
For instance, to interact means to act between people, right? You're sharing an action. And if you interrupt someone, you're breaking in between what they're saying or doing. That little inter is what gives us that sense of being in the middle of things.
Next, let's talk about post. This one is all about time, and it just means after. So anytime you see post, you know right away we're talking about something that comes later.
For example, a post-war period is the time that happens after a war. And if you postpone an event, you're just moving it to a time after it was supposed to happen. It's a really straightforward and useful clue to have.
Okay, let's look at another one that tells us about place. Sub. This one almost always means below or under, but it can also sometimes mean almost or near. A submarine, of course, goes below the water. A subway travels below the ground. And a suburb, that's an area just outside or kind of below the main city. In every case, sub is placing that word in a lower or secondary position. All right, for our last group, we're going to look at a really powerful prefix that's all about movement, about getting from one place to another.
And that prefix is trans. Whenever you see this one, I want you to think about moving from one side to the other. It means across.
So if you transport something, you carry it across a distance. If you translate something, you're carrying the meaning across from one language to another. And if you transfer a file, you're moving it across from one place to another. Trans always signals that idea of crossing some kind of boundary. So now that we've looked at all these examples, I hope you see that you haven't just learned a few random word parts. You've actually gained a new skill. It's almost like a superpower for reading. So here it is, your new prefix toolkit. We have co for together, pro for forward, inter means between, post is after, sub means below, and trans means across. If you can keep these in mind, I promise you, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Remember, these aren't just rules you have to memorize for a test. They're tools you can actually use. So the next time you see a big, scary-looking word, just take a breath, look for a prefix at the beginning, and see if you can find a clue. So, what words are you going to unlock today?